The Giants played football this Sunday, and they lost. They lost a meaningless game, so that means I'm not mad. I'm not mad. I'm fine. Listen, I knew at some point there was going to be a time where this shirt was going to come into play. Of course, I bought this shirt while the Giants were losing games, and I received the shirt while the Giants were winning games, but I just knew that eventually, some point, this would be very fitting to wear.
We done? Good, I can take a nap now.
The Giants played football this Sunday and against the New Orleans Saints, who surprisingly had Derek Carr in the lineup after what I heard of him breaking ribs, but I guess he's okay, and he was throwing absolute dots to a Swiss cheese of a defense that allowed catches time and time again with literally no Giants in the vicinity whatsoever. Now I get it, the Giants really have no stake in winning these games. These are meaningless games besides the pipe dream of somehow miraculously making the playoffs off of a 5-8 record right now. The Giants had no shot in hell of getting anywhere this season, and whether they won or lost a game was really inconsequential. But it's hard not getting mad at a supposed up-and-coming defense that's starting to get their stuff together with two really decent safeties in the back end, allowing a wide open touchdown to a player named Keith Kirkwood. Who the hell is that? Now, this game, to anybody besides a Giants or Saints fan, was absolutely a snooze fest. I mean, both offenses really didn't do anything special. I mean, the biggest play of the game was a prayer throw to Darius Slayton that somehow caught it and really did nothing for the drive, because I don't even believe they scored on that drive. It was just not the best game to watch. It just wasn't fun at all. The defense was absolutely horrid. I mean, Deonte Banks got lit up by Rashid Shaheed, who has ungodly speed, and why is he wearing number 22? That kind of pisses me off. But shout out to the Saints. They are now 7-7. And they are alive and well in the playoff race. And man, the NFC is so ass this season that the Packers, who we beat last week, and the Saints are in the running for the wild card right now. I think the Saints are in the wild card as we speak with getting this win. Man, the NFC is terrible, and it makes it even worse that the Giants are not part of this race.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm getting cooked.
Now, I know everybody wants to talk about Tommy Devito, and I guess we can get into that now. Listen, the run is over, the sugar high, the honeymoon, I don't know, the magic, it's gone, okay? The whole gabagoo and the Italian mafia and everybody, the whole meme of Tommy DeVito, it's gonna die. And it was gonna die the moment that they had their first bad loss, and it happened this week. I don't think, listen, there were a lot of clowns out there saying that Tommy DeVito could be the truth, he's the future. My God.
My quarterback. I think DeVito might be the answer. Holy shit. We might have a quarterback.
And I know a lot of people are going to come to his defense and say, well, it's one game. I mean, not every quarterback's going to win every single game. You can't expect that of him. But I think this game really amplified the problems with Tommy DeVito. And that being, he is pretty much just a one-read quarterback. That guy in backyard football that you hate to play with, because if he doesn't see the first guy open, when he says hike, he's running it. And that's pretty much what Tommy DeVito is. Now, if you count the dump off as another read, then I guess he's a two-read quarterback, but if the first guy ain't there and he's under pressure, he's tucking and running it. And sometimes he was successful. Against Green Bay, he had 71 yards. That's fine. That's great. But it just doesn't seem like he's a guy that can really command an offense and, you know, take it anywhere. I really think he's just a band-aid. He's a guy to get us through the season. Does he belong in the league? I think so. I don't think he is anything spectacular, but I think he can earn a backup job here or anywhere else. It doesn't matter. I would like him to stay here as a backup we can have, a young backup that we can develop, but I don't see anything more than that. And I've been saying that since the beginning, ever since we started going on this magical run. Now we got to go ahead and talk about this offensive line. I know a lot of people now want to go back to the offensive line saying, well, now it's terrible, and give Tommy DeVito a chance. It was terrible. And the Giants didn't allow a sack versus Green Bay last week, but that didn't mean that they're getting off to a better foot and they're developing and look, everything's getting better again. A dead clock is right twice a day, okay? Things happen and you get away with things, but the problems with the offensive line never dissipated. It never went away, and you see that here against New Orleans. They completely took advantage of the middle of the offensive line. I felt like the edges were okay. Of course, Andrew Thomas is a stand-up player, but it was really the interior of the offensive line, whether it be Justin Pugh, who has been struggling, our rookie center John Michael Schmitz, or Mark Glowinski when he was in there. I mean, it was an absolute mess. The linebackers really took advantage off of stun blitzes, and the Giants had no shot in hell. And this has been a problem up until the beginning. They weren't getting any better. It's just sometimes you have a good game, and sometimes you get right back to where you were, back to reality.
Oh, there goes gravity.
And I think one thing needs to be said. Bobby Johnson really needs to go. I know there are a lot of problems with the team as it is right now, but there is absolutely no reason why our young offensive linemen are not developing. John Michael Schmitz should come out and be one of the better centers in the league. He's coming out right now and just average, right? Andrew Thomas is great. He's always been great, but there's something that has to be said about Evan Neal's development as well. And the rest of the offensive line that just hasn't been able to gel. And I really think that is in part, and really the majority blame goes to Bobby Johnson, the offensive line coach, and that needs to happen as soon as the season's over. Fire him. Now, I don't think there's any benefit of firing him now. The season's over. Just play it out and just go on next season without him. But the Giants really need to get rid of him first and foremost. Now, what does this mean towards the end of the season? I have to look up where the Giants rank right now as far as the draft goes. The Giants are currently 7th in draft order, and this is not with the 4 o'clock games finishing or the Sunday night game or the Monday night game. This is being recorded just right after the game, so the Giants currently have the 7th pick, and we'll see what happens after that. But the Giants are still in the running for a quarterback. It may not be the top 2, but we're still in the running for a decent pick. So all hope is not lost for guys that want to tank and guys that want to make the playoffs, guys that just want to win. I mean, let's just sit back and see what happens. Magic with Tommy DeVito is over. The magic in New Jersey is gone. And now we are left with the pieces of reality. That being said, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Leave a like if you guys enjoyed. Subscribe if you guys are new. I'll see you guys in the next video. Woo.